Welcome to this in-depth analysis. Today, we are going to dive deep into one of the most talked about topics in the world of table tennis in this year, 2026. The situation surrounding Lin Shidong. If you follow the WTT circuit, you have surely noticed that something isn't quite right with the young Chinese prodigy. People are talking about a slump, about injuries, about unexpected defeats. But what is really going on? In this video, we are going to set aside the rumors and base our discussion on facts, results, and official statements to understand the complex reality surrounding the player, who, not too long ago, was considered the future #1 in the world. We will talk about his results so far this year, the injuries, the mental fatigue, the analysis of his rivals, and what this all means for the new Chinese national team in the Olympic cycle leading up to Los Angeles 2028. We will structure this analysis into several blocks. First, we will take a quick look back at a spectacular 2025 to understand where we are coming from. Then, we will delve into the complicated 2026, result by result, tournament by tournament. We will analyze the physical and technical causes of his downturn. Listen to what the experts in the Chinese Table Tennis Association themselves are saying. And finally, explore what the future holds for Lin Shidong. Get ready, because this is a comprehensive analysis. Let's begin. To understand the magnitude of what is happening in 2026, we first have to go back just 12 months. During 2025, Lin Shidong had a dream year that placed him at the top of the world. At just 19 years old, his rise was meteoric. We aren't just talking about talent, we are talking about a winning mentality that seemed unbreakable. The turning point, without a doubt, was the Singapore Smash of 2025. In that tournament, Lin Shidong didn't just win the singles title, he completed a historic triple crown, also taking the men's doubles and mixed doubles titles. That performance earned him the coveted 2,000 ranking points and catapulted him to world #1 for the first time in his career. By week 37 of 2025, Lin Shidong was officially the best table tennis player on the planet. But it wasn't an isolated event. Throughout 2025, he accumulated titles and finals. He won the Champions Frankfurt at the end of 2024 and started 2025 with sky-high morale. He reached the final of the Europe Smash in Sweden, although he lost to Trolls Morregard in a thrilling 7-game match. He reached another final at the Champions Chongqing, where he fell to his compatriot Wang Hao. At the World Championships in Doha, he made it to the round of 16, even in defeat. He competed head-to-head with the best. His playing style was an explosive mix of speed and power. His backhand, in particular, was a lethal weapon. That reverse flick was considered by many to be the best on the circuit, capable of changing the course of a rally in the blink of an eye. He was aggressive, brave, and seemed to have no ceiling. That Lin Shidong, the one who won WTT titles regularly and fought for every point as if it were his last, is the ghost that looms over the player we see in 2026. Because the reality is that since that peak in February 2025, something changed, and that change is what we are going to dissect next. We arrive at 2026. The year starts with the machinery wheel, or at least, that's how it seemed. Lin Shidong begins his season on the circuit in Qatar. It's important to follow the chronology to see how the first cracks begin to appear. In January, he plays the WTT Champions in Doha, and he starts well, very well. He gets through the early rounds convincingly. He beats Flavien Coton with a solid 3-0, and then overcomes a tough Benedict Duda 3-2, showing character to close out tight matches. In the quarterfinals, he faces his compatriot, Liu Guozheng. It's a vibrant match, the kind the crowd loved. Lin Shidong wins 4-2, and shows that, at least against his own teammates, he still has that spark. After the match, Lin stated, "Every time we face each other, I try to give my best, and learn from him. At the beginning, I did well adjusting my mentality and executing my tactics." His words reflect a player who is aware and focused. When in the semifinals comes the first blow. He faces the Korean Wang Hao, and he loses. He falls by a score of 4-2. It's not a humiliating defeat, but it is a defeat. And more importantly, Wang Hao beats him in a match where Lin Shidong, under other circumstances, started as the favorite. First warning, right after, in the same week, he plays the WTT star contender in Doha. He wins his first match against Park Gang-yeon 3-1. But in the round of 32, he comes up against Dmitry Zhovetrov, the veteran German, and here things get complicated. Lin Shidong loses 3-1, another early exit, 2 tournaments in Qatar, and Lin Shidong leaves, both without a title. Falling to players he should be dominating if he aspires to be the leader of the new generation. January ends with a bittersweet feeling. He played well, but he didn't win. In elite sports, the difference between playing well and winning is a chasm. At this point, no one is talking about a crisis. People talk about a bad start to the year, but what no one knows is that this is just the prologue for what is to come. February 2026 is the month when doubts turn into certainties, the month when the slump starts to take shape, and the setting couldn't be more demanding. The ITT, FATTU, Asian Cup in Haikou, and the Singapore Slumps, the tournament he was defending as champion. Let's start with the Asian Cup in Haikou. The group stage is a mere formality. Lin Shidong dominates, winning all his matches without dropping a single set. He beats net hit Suravajula Guozheng and Abdulaziz Bouchoulabi with authority. In the round of 16 he faces India's Pali wins, but this time he drops some games, closing 3-0, but with tight scorelines. Still, he advances. But then come the quarterfinals. The opponent is Japan's Shunsuke, and here, something happens that will mark a before and after. Lin Shidong gets to a 3-1 lead in the match. He has the game in his hand, he even has multiple match points. And then, the collapse happens. Togami, far from giving up, starts playing with absolute freedom, while Lin tightens up, becomes predictable, hesitates. Togami wins the 5th game, then the 6th, and finally the 7th, 11-7, a 4-3 defeat after being up 3-1. A devastating loss from a mental standpoint. It's the kind of match that leaves a scar. The rivals now know that if they pressure him and take him out of his comfort zone, Lin Shidong can waver. And then, the big blow, the Singapore Smash 2026. He's the defending champion. This is the tournament that saw him crowned. All eyes are on him to see if he will react. He plays well in the early matches, but in the quarterfinals he faces Félix Lebrun, the young Frenchman. History repeats itself, but with an even crueler script. Lin Shidong wins the first game. In the second, he gets to a 6-1 lead. It looks like he's going to steamroll him. But Félix doesn't give up. He closes the gap, ties it up, and eventually takes the set. The match goes to a 5th and deciding game. They get to 10-10, and there, in the moment of truth, Lin falters again. 2 consecutive points slip away from him. 10-12 and out of the tournament. Defeat against Lebrun at the same tournament. He also loses the men's doubles final alongside Wang Hao to the Lebrun brothers themselves. To complete the picture, we need to add the defeats in previous and subsequent tournaments. The specialized press begins to talk about 5 consecutive losses against foreign players. According to reports, during this period, Lin Shidong loses successively to Zhang Wujin, although it was in January. It's included in the Tali Dmitry Ovcharov Slovenia, Starko Djordjev at the WTT Contender, Muscat 2026, Shunsuke Togami, and Félix Lebrun. The list reads like a who's who of world table tennis. And the worrying part isn't the defeats themselves, but the manner of them, all in close matches, all showing cracks at the crucial moments. Okay, so we have the map of the results. But what do they do to... We can't just simplify it and say it's bad luck or that he forgot how to play. There are deep-seated causes, and the first of these, perhaps the most important, is the physical factor. Lin Shidong is a victim of his own success and the grueling international calendar. We're talking about a player barely 20 years old who, since the end of 2024 and throughout 2025, has been subjected to an enormous workload. In the first 3 months of 2026, before his withdrawal in March, he had already played 5 international tournaments, traveling more than 20,000 kilometers, and competing in multiple categories: singles, doubles, and mixed doubles. His body said enough. On March 4th, 2026, the WTT website updated the entry list for the Champions Chongqing. Lin Shidong's name was gone. The official reason: fatigue and a shoulder injury. Medical reports spoke of rotator cuff tendinopathy with an associated small fibrillar tear. For a player whose game is largely based on arm power, especially on the backhand, a shoulder injury is not a minor annoyance. It's a time bomb out at the Singapore Smash. Cameras captured Lin Shidong, rubbing his shoulder on multiple occasions, with pained expressions between points. His technical gesture was affected. The power of his backhand diminished, and he started using his forehand drive less frequently to avoid straining the joint. This injury is not an accident. It's the logical consequence of an inhuman competition schedule. The Chinese Table Tennis Association, in its goal of forging new leaders for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic cycle, has loaded Lin Shidong with responsibilities. He's the number 2 on the team, the natural successor alongside Wang Hao, and this pressure to compete in everything has taken its toll. The decision to withdraw him from Chongqing wasn't a punishment, but an act of survival. An attempt to stop the clock so the body can heal in time for the upcoming challenges: the World Team Cup in London and the Individual World Championships. But beyond the physical aspect, there's a gameplay problem. a problem that rivals have identified and exploit without mercy. And here we have to thank the analysis of authoritative voices, like that of former player and coach Liu Guozheng. Liu Guozheng was very clear in one of his interventions. He said that Lin Shidong's problem isn't one of attitude, nor even of mentality, at least not exclusively. The problem is that his technical system is too simple. And what does this mean in practice? It means that Lin Shidong has a huge imbalance between his backhand and his forehand. His backhand is a guided missile, but his forehand drive, especially when playing close to the table and in compromised positions, is a much less reliable weapon. Statistics are revealing. His use of the forehand drive in matches hovers between 32% and 35%, far from the 45% or more that top-tier players usually have. He's a one-armed player, a dangerous boxer who only punches with his left. Analysis points to an even more specific detail. Lin Shidong's weakness lies in the short game on the table. Leo said, verbatim, "Your short forehand is a problem you never solve." Opponents know that if they place the ball short and cross-court to his forehand, Lin Shidong has difficulty attacking with power. His game becomes predictable. And there's another movement that reveals his shortcomings: the backward step. When the match speeds up and rivals put him under pressure, Lin Shidong tends to take a step back, to move away from the table. That gives him an extra millisecond to think, but it reduces his angles and forces him to play in an area where his height, 1.68 meters, is a disadvantage. His table coverage decreases, and the spaces get bigger. In the match against Félix Lebrun in Singapore, the Frenchman did exactly that. He hit the ball hard and fast onto the table, prevented Lin Shidong from stepping back comfortably, and attacked his forehand over and over again. The result was a lesson in tactics, and the image of his coach, Wang Hao, on the sidelines, desperately shouting at him, "Don't move away from the table, don't hesitate," is a perfect snapshot of this internal struggle. Even the former president of the Chinese Table Tennis Association, Liu Guozheng, had anticipated this need for In an image that went viral during a training session, Liu Guozheng was seen pointing to his head while talking to a young Lin Shidong, implying that the leap in quality is not just physical, but also mental and tactical. So we have a young player, at the peak of his career on paper, but with a body asking for a break, confidence shaken by defeats, and a game that rivals have faced with this situation, the Chinese Table Tennis Association and his technical team, led by Wang Hao and overseen by the new association president, Wang Liken, made a drastic but necessary decision to stop the withdrawal from the WTT Champions Chongqing in early March is the first stone in a process of rebuilding. The goal is clear: to arrive in the best possible condition for the World Team Cup in London, which will be held in April, and for the individual World Championships, which will take place later in the year. This pause aims for three things. First, physical recovery. Treat the shoulder, strengthen the muscles, and allow the fibers to regenerate. Second, technical work. It's time, away from the spotlight, to refine that forehand, improve footwork, and work on new tactical variations so that rivals don't have such a clear roadmap to beat him. And third, and perhaps most importantly, mental recovery. To break the negative cycle, reset the mind, and reconnect with confidence. His place in Chongqing was taken by the young Anyu, another talent from the youth system who seized the opportunity to gain experience. This shows that the Chinese machine is still functioning. But the million-dollar question is, will Lin Shidong return as the same player, or will he return as an improved version? We've reached the end of this analysis. Lin Shidong's situation in 2026 is a complex cocktail of injury, exhaustion, tactical exposure, and pressure. He is not the first young prodigy to suffer a downturn after a dizzying rise, and he won't be the last. The history of sports is full of similar cases. What's at stake now is not whether Lin Shidong is a good player, which he undoubtedly is. What's at stake is whether he can make the leap from being a promise to becoming a legend. Promises fade when rivals discover their weaknesses. Legends, on the other hand, are those who turn those weaknesses into new strengths. The coming months are crucial. We will see if from this crisis emerges a more complete player, with a more solid forehand, more tactical resources, and a mental fortitude that is bomb-proof. Or if, on the contrary, the weight of defeat and the pressure of being the future of China end up derailing a career that started with such a firm step. Lin Shidong is 20 years old. Time is on his side, but in Asian table tennis, competition is fierce. While he recovers, others like Félix Lebrun, Shunsuke, Togami, or Korea's Oh Jun-sung are not stopping. The pause is necessary, but the clock of competition waits for no one. We'll continue to follow his evolution very closely, his upcoming tournaments, and, above all, we will see if in London or at this year's World Championships, we see again the smile and the aggression of that young man who in 2025, conquered Singapore. That's all for our analysis today. If you enjoyed this in-depth format, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content on the world of table tennis. Leave us your opinion in the comments. Do you think Lin Shidong will return to being number one? Thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next video.